Hello, magnificent beings. Eva Gregory here, founder of the Successful Spiritual Entrepreneur Group and founder of the Enlightened Business Success Academy, where we help established coaches and spiritual entrepreneurs attract high-end clients with premium offers. I'd say come on in, grab a front row seat, get comfy, have your favorite beverage or your water next to you. I have a lot to share with you today about mastering your money mindset to attract high-end clients. And really want to look at why a focus on money mindset. Because here's the thing. Before you can experience a successful business working with high-end clients in your physical reality, you've got to energetically align with what you want to manifest in your business first. So to attract high-end clients, you want to work with alignment that comes from your mindset. Okay. One of the things that sets my work apart from others in this field is that I know in the cells of my being the most important thing, the power of integrating energy alignment, which is your mindset, with the practical strategies for growing a successful, enlightened business. And you cannot shortcut this. I know a lot of folks, they think of energy alignment as woo-woo, and okay, yeah, it is. And it is also extremely practical. And so you have got to start making decisions based on where you want to be, not from where you are. Okay. What I've learned in my years of being in business is that making decisions as your next level version of yourself is extremely practical, and it's going to propel you forward to the success that you're asking for. So how you think, the questions you ask, the inspiration you get, the success that you activate, it's very different when you're focused forward, okay? Rather than making excuses about why you're not attracting high-end clients or why you don't attract high-end clients or why you can't attract high-end clients, you want to shift your thinking to how can I? Because you absolutely can. You may not have a premium offer yet, or you may not be ready to hire team members yet, as an example, but you can design your business so when the time comes, the foundation has been laid, and you want to lay that foundation now for what it is that you're moving towards, okay? So if you're thinking, well, once I make the six-figure leap, then I'll be ready to start attracting high-end clients. Well, what you want to do is you want to get into the mindset of how can I take my gifts and talents right here today and design an offer that attracts high-end clients now, whether you've been in business for a day or you've been in business for a decade, okay? And this is what's going to take you to the next level. It's what's going to take you to the next six figures or your next $500,000 or the seven-figure mark. Okay. And you're going to be able to reach those figures more quickly and without being overworked and overwhelmed when you think of it from this place, when you are in the mindset of this is who you are now, today. Okay. So if you're thinking, I'll take my time to up level my offers when I reach my next income goal, that is backwards. You want to look at how can you up level your offers now? How can you design them for high-end clients now? Okay. Another limiting belief to shift is I'll feel successful when I've actually reached a certain level in my business, or I'll feel successful when I have a certain number of clients. Then I can start attracting high-end clients, or when I hit $1 million in revenue, then I'll know I've made it. And then I'll work with higher-end clients. Then I'll feel successful. Then I won't feel like I've got imposter syndrome. By the way, we all have imposter syndrome at some level. I don't know why. It's just part of the human experience, I think. But it doesn't work this way, okay? You need to start feeling successful now. You're a success because you're in the process of creating a successful business. You're a success because you have a drive, you have a desire to create a successful business, to work with your ideal clients. That's it. And I'm not talking about fake it till you make it. I am talking about literally being in the essence and the energy of what that feels like now, right now. And when you spend your time really playing in this energy and you set your intent to master your energy alignment and the visioning first, this is how the rest flows. Okay. This is when you start to say things feel magical. That's when the synchronicities and the serendipities begin to happen. I hope this is making sense. Let me know in the comments below, because this is so, so important, whether you're here live or you're catching this on the replay. And when you decide that this is how you feel, what happens is you start to show up as that person. You start to show up as your best possible self. And in that energy, you start to be guided to the people, places, situations, circumstances, ideas, and solutions that supports that success. Hey, Jody, good to see you. Oh my goodness. Nice to see your smiling picture face here. So it's no accident that you chose to join this group. It's no accident that you're catching this live stream, whether you're catching it live or you're catching it on the replay. You have been asking your inner guidance, and your inner guidance is responding. Okay. So when you feel successful every day, no matter what's going on, no matter where you are in your business, you just assume the best. You know, what do? Our knee-jerk reaction is to assume the worst. Start to assume the best. Assume the best and know you have the entire universe conspiring for you. And you can know that the caliber of clients that you want to work with are there and available, and they are here for you. This is law of attraction one-on-one. You can't have a desire to work with the caliber of clients you do and to do the types of work that you do and not have tons of people who are looking for what you have to offer. Okay. And this is how it's going to show up. How you're focused, where you're focused is what's going to be reflected back to you. That's why it's energy alignment first. And I really want to say something here. Although we're talking about money mindset, we're really talking about mindset and energy alignment. Maybe we're talking about 6 figures or $500,000 or $1 million. Even no matter what the money thing is, it's actually not about the money. No worries, Jody. You enjoy your lunch. All right. So I just want you to know that money mindset, energy alignment, going for the money, creating the premium offers, charging handsomely for that, and finding those clients, attracting those clients who see the value in what you offer and are happy to pay you for it. Even in all of this conversation, it is not about the money. Okay. It has nothing to do with the actual numbers or the money. It's 1,000% about who you become in the process of building a $500,000 or $1 million business. This is about the journey towards your vision. And maybe your vision is 500,000, or it could be 10 million. But every next level up is always about how it transforms you. I don't care what level you're at. You want to be so aligned with that next level and what that version of you is creating that it becomes so familiar to you that when you finally reach it, it's going to feel like the next logical step. You might have a moment of getting really excited and you want to celebrate. We're all about celebrations, right? Celebrate. But that's temporary because it's going to feel so familiar. And it doesn't really matter if you're hitting that number, but what does matter is when you look back a year from now and you're amazed at how far you've come, because it's going to happen so logically that a lot of times you don't even realize the level of growth that's happening for you. But you won't be the same person who is here watching this today. Energy alignment. Big, big message here. Energy alignment first, foremost, and always. Mindset mastery comes from energy alignment, right? And every step of the way, you want to be asking, what if success is my only option? What if success is my only option? Then what? That's the question you want to hold. This is all about who you become to manifest the vision you hold. Stepping into that next level version of yourself, the version you're being called to step into. Who's feeling this? Anyone? If you're here, if you're feeling like this is your year, let me know in the comments, because I'll tell you, if you've been asking, it is being given. And now it's up to you to be open to receive the guidance and the support that's being put in front of you to become that next level you, right? So you want to start thinking and acting like the $1 million spiritual entrepreneur, or the $500,000, or the $250,000, whatever your number is, right? But you want to be acting like that now, okay? And this is what's going to open up the inspiration and the opportunities for that to happen for you. Hello. Yes, this is your year. Yes, me. Awesome. I love it. I love it when I have people on board with me here. It is, guys, if you can feel this and you've got that desire, this is yours. But it's got to be, you've got to get excited about an energy alignment first, right? Not looking like, well, it's not here yet, or I'm just getting started, or how am I going to get high-end clients when I can't even get the first? First of all, you better not be going after free clients. That's a whole other webinar for another, Facebook Live for another day. But when you start to embody energetically, ultimately where you want to be, then the higher version of yourself starts to kick in. And when it does, you start acting differently. You start asking different questions, like, what would a $500,000 business owner do? What would a 7-figure business owner do? What would a 7-figure business owner be thinking right now? So when you start shifting your focus to your vision and you start responding from your vision versus where you are today, you activate that in the quantum field. And in time, what's activated in the quantum field begins to form itself into this physical earth reality, okay? And so reality starts to catch up. One of the best ways to up-level your mindset and really start to embody these high-level beliefs is surround yourself with others who are doing the same thing. This is why you want to join Facebook groups that have your interests. If you want to be attracting high-end clients, hanging out with others who are attracting high-end clients, right? Or creating premium offers, or understanding energy alignment. I teach the practical stuff. I teach proven practical strategies. Clients are getting results from that. But you know where we start? Always from the energy alignment. Because without that, you're on quicksand. You're on quicksand. Energy alignment creates the solid foundation so that when you do take the practical steps, they work, right? So that's why it's good for you to be surrounding yourself with others who are either doing what you want, or like-minded people who are on the way to what you're on the way to as well. And so starting today, you want to start asking questions like, yes, thinking makes it so. Absolutely. If I was attracting and enrolling my dream high-end clients, what needs to happen today to get me there? It's a great question to ask. What foundation do I need to be laying out in my business today to support that vision? And if you don't have the answers to those, how do I want to feel? Guys, if you are ever feeling in resistance or you're unsure, there's one thing that you always know. You know you want to feel good. And if that's the only thing you can ask, then ask yourself, how do I want to feel? Because that immediately puts you focused on feeling good, right? That's a positive vibration. And now you can be open to what else is wanting to come through for you, okay? And I'm just going to share some examples of my own personal journey in my own business that has, so where I am today. And hopefully this will give you some ideas you can think about yourself. And I'm talking about some of the more practical energy alignment first, but then the types of questions you ask are not like, how do I get any client to say yes? It's, if I was attracting and enrolling my dream high-end clients, what would need to happen today? You see, the question is different. And because the question is different, the answers that you're going to be attracting to you are going to be different. This is how you begin to attract the people, places, situations, circumstances, ideas, solutions that come to you that is very different than if your focus was on, what if I can't get any clients? You see the difference? I hope you guys, this is making sense. So for me, just an example for my questions was like, how can I design my, just scaling the programs as an example. How can I design my high-end program so it's able to run without me as we scale? Okay. So a few years ago, I started revamping my offers, and I started designing premium offers so that they could run without me, or that there was so much of it automated that even I could still be there to serve, and it not take 40, 50, 60 hours a week, right? The next thing that I looked at was who do I want to, who as a mentor. My decision was investing in 9-figure plus business mentors in programs. Okay. I've always had my own coaches and mentors to support my growth. So I don't have to figure it all out on my own. I don't have to reinvent the wheel. I want to cut years off my learning curve. And the minute I learned what coaching was, I have had a coach and mentor and multiples at the same time ever since. And I continue to invest in programs and mentors. So I'm surrounded by 8-figure business owners. I can see how they think differently, how they make decisions differently, how they do things differently, right? One of my mentors right now is 8-figure. She's on her way to 9 figures, so that I can learn from that. I can be in that energy and to ask myself, what would I be doing? How would I be thinking? What decisions would I be making to reach that level? I also get to learn from their challenges. Again, I don't want to have to reinvent the wheel. I want to cut years off my learning curve. I want to learn from their mistakes, right? And so I get to learn. I get to learn from the challenges that they've experienced and that they've learned. So I'm not having to do it myself, and I don't have to make those same mistakes. I don't need to make all the same mistakes they make. God knows I make enough by myself, right? But I can just ask them. I can ask them, hey, this is what I'm looking at doing. And they can just keep me on that straight and narrow, right? The other thing that I focused on is how can I design my business to support my lifestyle? Okay. And this is something, I don't care if you are brand new in your business or you've been at it for a while, you want to be designing your business to support your lifestyle and not the other way around. So that was a big decision that I made early on when I first got into coaching, even before I was making enough money to support the kind of lifestyle that I wanted. But I'm very intentional about having time. See, I like space, literally, physically, mentally, emotionally. I like space. Okay. And that's one of the things I did. I designed my business to have a lot of space in it, and taking a lot of time off, and having space in my life, even in my day-to-day. Okay. And I know that it can sound counterintuitive, but the more your business grows, the more space you need for yourself, and the more systematized you need to be so that you can create more space. I remember a t-shirt that Rob and my other half had for a while. It said, the less I do, the more I make. Love that. Love that so much. Okay. Because otherwise what happens is you came into business probably because of a desire to make a difference, to make an impact, but also so that you aren't being like, I didn't want to be a cog in the wheel when I was at IBM. I didn't want to be creating somebody else's dream. I wanted my own dream. And I wanted to be able to keep my own hours, right? And have no ceiling on my income. And if you don't create that space in your life and you don't systematize, you will become the bottleneck to that kind of a business growth, right? And so you want to be intentional now about how you structure your business. So as it grows, then you're not involved in every area. You're not the one that's being the bottleneck in the business. But you want to be thinking about these kinds of things now, right? And I'm continuing to look. I'm always looking at what needs to be in place for my business to grow and for my team to grow and support me. The other thing I made a decision on several years ago was that I would only launch, at the time, I would only launch $10,000 to $35,000 or $40,000 offers. So I decided I was only going to focus on premium offers because I was very clear on the type of clients I want to work with. And I wanted to be able to scale my business with high touch programs, high level of mentoring and interaction, because I love that part. I don't want to have a team of coaches that does that for me. I can have support coaches, but this is part of what I love, right? And at the same time, I want to be able to scale my business. while I still have that and work with high-end clients. And instead of having to work with hundreds and hundreds of clients at lower fees just to make it to a certain level and be worn out at the end of the day, overworked, overwhelmed, stressed, and struggling, right? I don't want to do that. I got very clear. And I'm not going to lie, it took some courage to go from, at the time, offering $500 to $2,000 programs, and to make that jump to then offering $10,000 and higher. It was a scary move at the time. What if nobody, the gremlin comes in, right? What if nobody signs up? Well, guess what? They did. But it took focus on me, focusing on the version of myself that makes premium offers to high-end clients before I was ready to make the offer. This is the energy alignment first. Get into the mindset. If this is what you want to do, you've got it in you right now to do it. Now, right now, today, this moment. Okay? Not years from now. And I didn't know, what I did know was that I was not going to reach my goals offering $500 programs or courses. It just wasn't going to happen, not even with the $2,000 courses. And so now I'm very clear on the caliber of client I work with. I work with fewer clients, which is what I love, although you can still scale. I've got clients that love working with tons and tons of clients, and you can set it up so you can scale with those as well. I personally like having fewer clients. And then I was able to create the income and lifestyle I love with my premium offers. So the other thing that as far as my example of thinking is, anything that I'm creating now, my question is, will this one offer be a six-figure asset in my business? Just this one offer. So that's a huge shift for me. And so what I now create is six-figure assets. That means that when I'm thinking about creating a new program or an offer, it has to be worth six figures at minimum. This is over time, right? In other words, that individual program or that offer by itself has to have multiple six-figure potential in it in order for me to consider creating it. Okay, so these are just some of the examples of some mindset shifts that even I had to grow into working with some of my mentors, right? In the past, I would ask something like, well, what would create a multiple six-figure business for me this year? Then when I started asking, what would create a multiple seven-figure business, I realized that the question to get me there was very different from the question I had before. Okay, all the filters, becomes the filter that you run all of your creations through. Okay, and your number could be different, but whatever it is for you, I want it to be a stretch, something maybe you haven't thought of before, but then start asking that, will this one offer be, in my case, will this be a multiple six-figure asset in my business? And if it's not, for me, it's a no-go. Or if it's a no at face value, I'll ask what could make it a six-figure asset in my business. Okay, it's just another way of expanding your thinking. So I hope that I'm getting you guys thinking a little bit about how to think differently about where you are in your business. Most coaches and spiritual entrepreneurs are just wondering, how are they going to get through the day? And you got to bring it out, because when you start to bring it out and ask these kinds of questions, the ideas and the inspiration that can come is far different when you're focused in this way. So when you're thinking at this level, you start to realize too, there's only 3 or 4 things on your to-do list that actually are important. So you don't need to be doing all the little things and the $50 or the what many people teach is the ascending. I've talked about this before, the ascending funnel, right? You start with $7, $97, $500, $2,000, $10,000. I teach the descending model. Start at the top. You can have the others, but start at the top. Position yourself where you want to be known and how you want to be known with the types of clients you want to work with. And then you let the others work themselves out. And when you're only focused on these higher levels, there's only so many things that you need to do. You don't have to have all of these different moving parts, okay? And that means 90% of what you're doing can probably be dumped, all right? I have a process I go through. It's called do it, dump it, or delegate it. It's a great process for any of you to run any of the things that you're doing through. And this is a filter that you run through. You learn pretty quickly how much of what you're doing on a daily basis is a waste of time. It is not moving the needle for you in your business. There's a lot of wasted time that is happening. And when you look at all these items on your plate, if you aren't doing it and you're not dumping it, then you're asking, who can you delegate it to? Okay, do it, dump it, or delegate it. Highly recommend you try this process. And if you're used to doing everything yourself, then this can't happen, right? It's really hard to let go when you're used to doing everything yourself, but you've got to, if you're going to focus on a high-end business that you want to create. So if you can get in and stay in this mindset, everything will start to flow from here in a very different way than things maybe have been flowing to you up to now, okay? Making high-level decisions becomes a lot easier when you're in that different mindset. So you don't have to be making the 100,000 or the $500,000 or the $1 million yet, but you want to get into the mindset, because the types of questions you're asking is going to set you up to succeed for that, right? And it's also a way to stay conscious about the direction you're going, and it also will help you create clarity about every aspect of your business. Now, what you may find is that a lot of what you're doing right now is not a good use of your time, if it ever was. But you got to be willing to let it go if you find that's true. What is, another great question to ask, what is the highest and best use of my time right now? If I were a $500,000 business or $1 million business, if I was version 2.0 of myself, what's the highest and best use of my time right now? Great question. To start to activate higher answers, higher inspiration, higher ideas and solutions that can start to come to you. There may be something you should be doing that's going to have a lot more impact than what you're creating right now. Or it's something that's going to move the needle in a bigger way than what you've been doing right now. But rather than trying to get all these little bits and pieces handled, focus. Focus is critical. This is the key to so much. I don't know about you. I am guilty of having shiny object syndrome. Do you know what that is? You guys know what shiny object syndrome is? Oh my gosh, shiny object. Oh, let's do this. Oh, it's like the dog squirrel. That's me. That's me. And so when you see something that's cool or looks like fun and you go, yes, and then all of a sudden you've got hundreds of ideas that you want to do and things you want to implement in your business, and you want to do them all. They're all shiny objects. And yeah, it's great. You can have all those. You just don't do them all at once, right? And that's what one of my coaches early on said that to me when he saw me. He says, Eva, you can have it all. You just can't have it all at once, right? And what I found was less really is more. Less really is more when it comes to your business. You might think that in order to make more money, you need more offers. And that's not true when you're looking at creating premium offers, okay? I know I've been there. But what I found was a few years ago when I revamped my entire business and I streamlined all of my offers, took them all away, created this synergistic focus, man, my income just skyrocketed. All right. And it's simpler. It's so much simpler. If you looked at our offers a few years ago, you would have seen dozens of income streams. And nothing wrong with multiple streams of income, by the way. This is not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about all of the offers in your business. I mean, it was crazy. And none of them led synergistically to the next. So the energy around them and around me and my business was scattered. And that will not create a successful business. Energy alignment first, okay? And that's about focus on what it is you want to create now. You don't have to be there now, but you focus there now. Completely different. Then that's a more peaceful energy. And it's so nice. And, I've only got three things to focus on. That's it. So when you're thinking about your products and your programs and your offers and your funnels and your marketing channels, you just want to get laser focused, okay? Laser focused. And you have to have a certain level of tunnel vision in this case. so that you can just stay focused on what's going to take you to the next level. Remember, do it, dump it, or delegate it. It's going to really bring you right in. And it might feel scary to think about letting some things go, but once you do, there's going to be this huge feeling of relief. Even for me, queen of shiny object syndrome, right? And of course, what does it do? It frees up more space and time in my life, which is something that is a huge value to me, right? So $1 million mindset questions, or $500,000, put your number in there, would be, what's the highest and best use of my time right now? We already talked about that. Another one would be, what's it like to be a $500,000 entrepreneur or $1 million entrepreneur? You notice these are not questions. Some of them are. Some of them would be questions like your mind would say, yeah, what is the best use of my time? What I am asking you to do is sit in the question and allow the universe to deliver the answer. So it's not like we're going to go after the answer. We're going to ask it so that we are now activating the kinds of answers to those types of questions. I hope this is making sense. So what's the highest and best use of my time? What's it like to be $1 million entrepreneur? What's it like? I love this one. What's it like to have the universe leading me to the person I aspire to be, to the successful spiritual entrepreneur I aspire to be, to the 7-figure entrepreneur I aspire to be? Fill in yours right there. What's it like to have the universe leading me to it? Do you see this is the difference? We're opening to receive versus efforting to get. It's a big difference. How good can I stand it right now? Two of my favorite mantras I say a lot. How good can I stand it? And how easy can I stand it? Great questions to ask yourself. How easy can I stand it on my path to my ultimate success? And of course, what if success is my only option? Okay. So what happens is when you're asking these kinds of questions, it automatically focuses you emotionally and energetically on what you want. And when you're focused on what you want, then it activates this vibrationally, and it activates it in the quantum field. And it has you vibrationally aligned with what you're activating in the quantum field. And so what happens is your subconscious now is going to automatically go out looking for the answers to these questions, and it's going to bring you situations in your life that leads you in this direction. Okay? So it's not about us having all the answers to these things, but letting ourselves be guided one step at a time. So this is not about getting up in your head to figure it out. We're putting it out into the universe. We're allowing our higher self, we're allowing source energy to take it from there, but we are being open to receive the answers that are being given to us. Okay. So your job is to consciously, intentionally, and deliberately look for the evidence of this without attachment. All right. Because what you focus on, you are bringing more of into your experience. Your job is to look for the evidence, look for the synchronicities that start to unfold, look for the inspiration, the ideas that come to you, or the people and solutions that get put in front of you. But you just keep bringing your focus back to these kinds of questions or questions similar to this. And P.S., have fun with this. Fun is number one. Don't you ever forget it. If it's not fun, you won't do it. Not for long anyway. And we want this to be fun. It does not want to feel like work, right? So keep it light, make it a game, trust the process, but stay committed to the cause. So trust the process, but stay committed to the cause. These are the kinds of questions that may feel out there, but these are the types of questions that keep me grounded. They keep me grounded. It brings clarity when I'm confused and I'm not sure. And when I'm feeling confused or overwhelmed, I don't know what my next step is. This is how I get to it. I'm not trying to be up in my head and figuring it out. I have to let that go. It's almost like let go and let God, let go and let the angels, right? It's kind of in that energy. And I just get into present moment, get quiet, and focus on these questions or questions like this. Every day, before you work on something, ask yourself, what is what I'm about to do supporting my business, my income, or my peace of mind? Another great question to ask. How does what I'm about to do support my business, my income, or my peace of mind? In other words, is this really the best use of your time? Is this something that your future self would be doing to create the business that you want to create? And I would encourage you to ask these kinds of questions with everything you do, because stepping into your next level, creating premium offers, attracting high-end clients, this comes with a shift in mindset. It comes with a shift in mindset. And I'm not talking about making an extra $1,000 a month. I want you to open your mind to the possibility of making more money in a month than you ever thought was possible, more money in a month than you've ever made in a year, right? Really, really build it out. Have fun with this. There's no limit, and it doesn't cost you anything to raise your vibration and your mindset and your ability to think outside what you normally think about, right? And so even like the life, you want to wake up every morning, you're living in a vision that you've created. You can't believe what you've accomplished in such a short amount of time. And it's possible. It's possible for you. So here's the deal. If you want a massively successful business, you got to get crystal clear on what you want. All right. If you know that you're ready for a successful business that lights up your soul and you know this is the year for you to step into it, say yes. Let me know in the comments below. Claim it. Like this is what we do. We got to put that energetic stake in the ground here and now, right here. And oh, I got somebody's heart pumping. Oh my goodness. Yes, pumping in a good way, I hope. I hope it is. I hope you guys are getting excited because it's all of this energy work is really what's going to create it. We think it's all the action work that comes after, right? There's an order to things, and most people have this out of order. And for you, it's like, what does it mean to you? What's a successful, enlightened business? It could be a certain revenue amount. Totally go bigger than you think and feel good about it. And by the way, million is, we use that a lot because it's a magical number. Not everybody is aspiring to that. Some people are aspiring to 50 million. So you got to find your number, right? And it might be financial freedom or financial security. It might be a certain lifestyle. It might mean spending more time with your family. For me, it was getting out of the computer industry. When I was in IBM, get out of the computer industry, get out of that competitiveness, get out of those long hours. And it was being able to take long morning walks with my dog, with my mug of coffee, and take as long as I wanted to. And it was building my business at on my grounds, on what I wanted to do from my home office. This was long before pandemics. And in, of course, the coaching world, we've been working from home forever, but it wasn't the way it was when I first got into my business. And then it was about, I only want to work 3 weeks out of every month. Oh, love this. Love it. It meant no ceiling on my income and depending on someone else to tell me how much I was going to be worth, and be able to make as much money in a month as I had in a year, for sure. It was traveling first class to amazing places. Just whatever does that mean to you? Have fun in your dream. Don't get into the how. As Mike Dooley likes to say, if you don't know Totally Unique Thoughts, you guys need to check it out. He said the cursed hows, right? That's what they are. There are certain how questions that are good, like how easy can I stand it? How good can I stand it? How can I have this? How can I be this? How can I create this? But not head questions like, how do I make this happen? Right? How do I figure out how to get the client? Not those kinds of hows. Those are head hows. We want heart house. That's what we want. And so what does that mean to you? Creating what your business and your lifestyle is for you. And I also want to some real talk here, okay? If you want to create a successful enlightened business, I call these enlightened businesses because we're coming with our hearts and our souls. We're serving those clients that we're here to make a difference with. And if you want that business that attracts high-end clients beyond anything you've ever created before, if you want to create that vision for yourself or that life for yourself, you 100% got to be willing to be uncomfortable. Got to get out of your comfort zone, right? 100%. You've got to make decisions that are decisions outside what you normally make. Make decisions from where you want to be versus making decisions from where you are. You got to take risks. you have to face what they call the terror barrier. That's outside your comfort zone, right? Not really terror, but it's inevitable. Nothing happens when you stay inside your comfort zone. It just doesn't. You're not going to create massive success in a fast time frame when you stay comfortable. If you're not taking risks, if you're not facing your fears, if you're not doing things that make you uncomfortable and maybe scare you a little bit, you're going to hold back, right? You're going to move slowly. You're going to procrastinate because the gremlin, that's when the gremlin comes out. Your guidance is saying, we've got you. We've got you. But your gremlin is going, oh my God, no, let's don't go there, right? And yeah, you might get there, but it's going to take you 5 to 10 years instead of 1 or 2 or even less. And some clients who've reached it in less than a year, right? But it's all about the mindset and the energy alignment first. So this is the key you need to understand, because so many times I talk to people, and the moments that things get uncomfortable and they start to get challenging, they want to stop. Now they've decided what they really need to do is go and start writing their book. Or what they really need to do is go clean out their closet. Or what they really need to do is start posting more on social media. You'll have whatever your thing is, but you pull back. And then you stop. Like, you don't wanting to hit the fear. And that, guys, this is your gremlin. That is your gremlin, not your guidance. Not your guidance. You're allowing your gremlin to paralyze you, to cripple you, and to take over. And at that moment, when you do that, you are deciding. Every action that we take is a decision, right? Everything we take, that's a decision. You might say, well, I'm not making a decision today. Well, just not making the decision is a decision. And when you're doing this, you are deciding that you no longer want to go after your vision. That's what you're deciding. Is this resonating? Getting out of sitting in front of the computer all day. Oh man, Jody, that's mine too. Ooh. Yeah. So I hope this is resonating, because the moment you pull back and you stop, you're making a decision. You are allowing your gremlin, who likes being in your comfort zone and the way that you've been programmed, to stop you in your tracks and to keep you from going forward. Those who create massive success, and massive success, which can happen in a short amount of time, by the way, they recognize, okay, what I'm doing is scary. This is making me very uncomfortable, but I'm willing to get outside my comfort zone. I'm trusting my guidance. I'm going to step up and step out until what's outside my comfort zone eventually becomes my new comfort zone at a higher level of success than I was before. But we got to get out of our current comfort zone, be uncomfortable until this becomes our new comfort zone. And it's always happening. There's no limit, by the way. Good news, bad news, I guess. And the more you do it, though, the better you get. But you're always going to be facing the fear of the unknown. There's always going to be fear of what you haven't experienced before. And your gremlin is going to have a heyday with you on that. All right. So what you need to ask yourself, this is so simple and so crucial. When you're about to pull back, when you feel yourself taking that step back, you feel that fear. Feel the fear. When your body's telling you, oh, but I'm tired, I'm not going to do the activities I said I was going to do today. Ask yourself, do I really want this vision? Do I really want this? And if you recognize every single time you stopped yourself from doing something that's going to help you reach your goal, if you were just aware and conscious, you wouldn't let your gremlin take over. The gremlin is so freaking loud and obnoxious, and your inner guidance is so quiet. They're just like cool. Oh my God, I know, if we could just switch them, right? But you wouldn't give up your dream. Of course you're not going to give up on your dream. You would never do that. It's, our desires are not something that we make up. They come from the core of who we are. That is our guidance. That's our guidance. And in the moment you feel the fear of stepping up and outside your comfort zone towards your dreams, you want to ask yourself, which feels better? Listening to my gremlin and staying where I am? Listening to my guidance, stepping out of my comfort zone, but reaching my dreams. So I'm talking to those of you who want more, those of you who have this vision, Because what's happening to you is there's this other level of you, this other version of you that's wanting to come out. And it's your true self that is calling you forth to that, right? And that infinite potential that we all have within us. So just remember, your guidance is always calling you forth to your true self, without the fears or the doubts or the worries about what are people going to think. That's a pretty common one. What are people going to say? How much money is it going to cost? God, are you looking at what's going to give you your expansion as an expense or as an investment? Another mindset shift, right? Do I have the time? These are gremlin speak, right? All of that is in your paradigm. These are all the things that are keeping you from getting outside your comfort zone. And when you do that, you cannot reach your goal. So there's this person in you that's coming out, this person of you that knows the higher self, this version of us that has that unlimited potential, that wants that greatness. That's the person you want to bring out more of the time. And that person is the one that's willing to take risks, because it always knows the universe has got my back. The universe has my back. The higher self is always guiding you, will never guide you to something that you can't or aren't ready for, right? Doesn't mean we aren't uncomfortable when we first do it. But you're the one you're the kind of person, you go after what you want. You're creating premium offers for those highest level of clients that you know you want to work with. You're creating massive success in your business while you help others create massive success in whatever it is that you do to help people, whether it's in healing them or in some kind of spiritual work that you do or in nuts and bolts practical stuff. Doesn't matter. So whenever you feel like you're going to take a step back and you're not sure what you're going to do, I want you to go back to that vision that you created for yourself, your dream life, your dream business. Why did you get into this business to begin with? Just because we call it a dream doesn't mean it can't happen. A dream is the first step to manifesting it into your reality. The dream is actually you using your imagination to create the business that you want, because then you can manifest it. But you got to create it in your mind first. You got to create it energetically first for it to then become a reality in this physical world. And so it starts by activating it in the quantum field of infinite possibilities and probabilities. It's the transmutation of energy, and it is a universal law. Everything starts with a thought that is fueled with emotion. That's how things become a reality in the physical form. Law of Attraction 101, right? Your thoughts are the engine, but your emotions are the fuel to your vision and what you want. So maybe you know what you want and you go for it, or maybe you hold yourself back. But if you want massive success, you gotta let the gremlin go. You've got to step outside your comfort zone. You've got to understand the universe has got your back. Your universe, the freaking universe is conspiring for us in spite of ourselves, right? In spite of the times when we're holding ourselves back and making excuses. It's there for us. But you can't continue to hold yourself back. You can't be crippled by fear. So when you're about to make a decision not to do something that could really, really change your life in a positive way, just ask yourself, do I really, really want this future that I'm envisioning? And if your answer is yes, then you tell your gremlin, thank you for sharing. Now step to the left. I told my gremlins that a lot. Okay. And then you put your focus on your vision and you let your guidance take you. The other question to ask yourself, and this is really being honest with yourself, is if 1 year from now I am in the exact same place I'm in, how would I feel? Or how does that make you feel to be in the exact same place that you are today? You'll be a year from now, if you allow the fear to cripple you. Is that where I'm going to be? Get thee behind me, gremlin. Love it. Where do I listen to this again? It'll be right here in the group. Once we're finished going live, it'll automatically be in here. So, and I will be putting this in the guides under the Facebook Lives here in the group. So So you guys can come back and watch it again. I know more people usually catch these on the replay than they are here live. So I really appreciate all of you who are here live. So, thinking about, where do you want to be 2 years from now? Do you want to be in the same place you are today? I don't even let my mind go there. Don't let your mind go there. The other thing I really want you to think about as well is this vision that you have for yourself is like the dream that you've created is this, you are capable of it. I am capable. Guys and gals, you cannot have a desire that you don't have the ability to experience. It's not possible to have a desire that you can't experience. That's law of attraction. If you ask yourself, but what if none of this ever happens? What if it never happens? When you think about that, and that thought doesn't feel good, it's because it's not your truth. It's because the desire you have is your truth. And so I don't care, in my darkest hours, and man, I have had a few, as all of us do. I'm not alone in this. But even then, I know back when Robin and I ran our software company, that was when I first discovered the law of attraction in the worst possible situations. I kept to the vision. It's like, I don't know how, I don't know when, but I know that we were meant to have success. We were meant to be successful. This was meant to work out for me. And I just remember that as a kid, even as a kid, like grammar school, I just always kept saying, as many of you have, I grew up with parents that had absolutely no money at all. I'm not going to go into that story, but I kept saying, no, I'm here for a lot more than this. This is not what I'm here for. I just knew there was something missing, even though I didn't understand it at the time. It's true. We are not. Okay. And I just decided I was going to take the leap. I was going to really focus on my vision. I was going to do whatever I felt was the thing to do. Got way outside my comfort zone for sure. But I realized that I had to do this to create the life that I wanted. And I am so grateful that I did. The questions that I kept asking is what led me to law of attraction. In the law of attraction, man, the fireworks went off, the light bulbs came on. And I was like, oh my God, this is what I've been looking for all my life. And then really immersing myself in that. And then from there, got more deeply steeped into inner guidance, which is really what's guiding us the way anyway. Is this the foundation of everything that we're doing if we're listening, right? And so hold your vision in your mind. You create the inspired actions. That's the actions you take. The actions are inspired. And yeah, you might have to face your fear every single day. And what I can tell you, when you decide that you're going to face those fears and you're going to be uncomfortable, you're going to do things that scare you, but you are going to trust your intuition. You are going to trust your guidance, and you're going to do everything you can that is in alignment with that. You are going to be limitless. We all can be limitless. And when you do, the other thing happens is you calm down. You'll speed up because the excuses go out the window, but you'll calm down. So it's interesting. You calm down, but your efforts, your results will speed up. And you just kick fear in the butt. That is just your gremlins, all right? Fear's not real. I know it feels real. And I'm not saying it like I know better because I got my own fears. But you kick fear in the butt. And then you go after what you're meant to have and what you're here to create. And you stand in that limitless, even if you don't know anymore, then that's just what you want. And you be grateful. You be grateful. Great gratitude and appreciation. Oh, instant alignment when you can be there. And you just face those fears and you go after that success that's already within you, already there. It's already here. And what I know in the cells of my being is that when you're willing to shift your mindset and you're willing to step out of your comfort zone and go for your dreams, I don't care what your current situation is right now. 1 year from now, your life can look completely different. And all of your visions can start coming into fruition. You're going to be a version of yourself that you can be loud and proud of. You can still be loud and proud of where you are right now. I'm just saying, there's another level of us. There's always another level. It's limitless. That part is definitely limitless, okay? And if you were attracting and enrolling your high-end clients, your dream clients, what would you need to change in your business to get there? Start asking these kinds of questions here and now, right? So that you start activating the answers and the people, places, situations, circumstances, ideas, events, solutions that lead you to that. And then one last thing is just to remember, baby steps will get you there. Baby steps. Energy alignment first, inspired action next. But baby steps lead to avalanches. They will get you to the success you deserve. And when you're willing to hold on to that vision, success is your only option. I will get off my soapbox now. So big, big heart hugs. Lots of love. Bye for now.